if I'm breathing and stuff, it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, there's a little bit of background noise, but I don't know if you can help that.
That would be my 8-month-old baby crying in the background.
No, it sounds like a washer, an air conditioner, or something.
Here, I put reduce mic settings.
Jordan,
or reduce yeah, it kind of sounds like ambient noise.
Yeah. Can you mute
I think
yourself?
it's probably the fridge. It's probably the fridge.
Could be me. Like my computer fan is running right now, so
it
could be me too.
Sure.
What's that?
Mute your mic for a sec.
Okay.
No, it's Frankie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
I know. I hear the baby.
Yeah, I hear it.
Is it too loud?
Fine. No, it's. We can make it through.
Yeah, it's quite enough that it doesn't distract.
Okay, hopefully. Sorry, guys. I'll try and figure something out for the next. I tried to use the mic, but it's just not working.
I'd say even buy like a $30-$40 like USB mic.
Yeah.
Amazon.
If I turn my mic, my sound down, does this get quieter? Is that quieter?
That's about the same, I think.
Okay, whatever.
All right, do we want to get this off?
Very upset right now too. So just heads up. Sorry.
What's this?
What is this?
Which Pokemon?
I recently, Christian, I just went through all my old Pokemon cards, and I have way more Pokemon cards than I thought I did. And some of them are like, I have one card that's worth like $800.
Yeah, according to you.
No, according to a scanning app that I got to start scanning all my cards. And so far, I'm up to $2,500.
Go pawn them off.
I'm genuinely
what year is that? I actually have like hundreds of Pokemon cards from jobs. I've been slowly collecting them and organizing them. Most of them are post 2020. There's a couple that are like 2016, 2017. But from what I understand is all the valuable ones are going to be at least 10 years old.
99.
Well, the ones from the 90s are really valuable. But you could still get a little bit.
That I have.
Yeah, but you could still get a little bit out of, 2000s and 2010s. But anything in the
some of them are worth like $300-$400 for like new cards too, though.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll have to bring all our Pokemon cards together one day.
Dude,
let's do it.
We did a big battle with Timothy. You got to learn to play, Jordan. It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I should. I literally probably have a deck to play with. So
yeah, let's do it.
No, Christian, I'm thinking for my birthday, we might all get together and we'll bring Jordan and Jesse in, and then we'll do a Pokemon tournament.
That'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even remember how to play properly. It's been so many years.
Do you want to do the opening, Jordan?
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like you're way better at the openings than I am.
Well, you just got to practice.
Do you want me? If you want me to do it, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it.
Well, maybe next time be prepared, and then you can do it.
Sure.
Okay. I'll just count down to 3 and leave a second of silence, and then we'll listen to the baby, and then I'll start. 3, 2, 1. Welcome aboard the Millennial Falcon. This is Jordan.
This is Christian.
Yeah, this is Frankie.
We are here today, parked in the hangar bay today for routine maintenance. Join us for a game of the Jar Tobacco or just to hang out as we do this live stream. Make sure to subscribe to the show. And if you want to get an audio only version of this episode, so you can listen on your way to work and whatnot, or while you're running on your treadmills, make sure to become a Patreon at patreon.com/StarLords. Don't forget also to follow us on all the social medias, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Anyways, here we are back again. Fun Star Wars stuff. What's happening, y'all?
Yeah. So, yeah, I have been doing some. There's been all kinds of new stuff in the last little bit. We haven't done a live stream in a little while, and there's actually been quite a few. What's the word I'm looking for?
Updates.
Some updates, yeah, taking place in the Star Wars world. One of them has been the recent announcement and release of the trailers for Maul Shadow Lord. So, yeah, I got some info here. So, beginning with a 2-episode premiere on Disney Plus on April 6th, 2026. 2 episodes each week, leading to a finale on Star Wars Day, May 4th. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord presents fans with a pulpy adventure and finds Maul plotting to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. There, he crosses paths with the disillusioned young Jedi Padawan, who may just be the apprentice he is seeking to aid him in his relentless pursuit for revenge. Series will be developed by Dave Filoni and Matt Miknovets. And then Brad Rao is the supervising director. So, with all that to come out, did you guys hear about any of this? Did you guys see the trailers? What's where are you guys at?
Yeah, I did know about this. I did watch the trailer. Unfortunately, as with everything Disney at the moment, I'm not super excited, but I will probably give this a watch. I'm more excited for this than most of the slop that's come out. Not to say that I'm super excited for it, but it's the first thing that's been more interesting than not that's come out in a while. Matt Miknovitz is also I think one of the creators of Jedi Fallen Order, which is some of the better Star Wars product that's been out. So I'm hoping that that talent will kind of carry over into this, but we shall see.
Yeah, I don't know. I did see some of the clips and stuff floating around online. It doesn't it looks good. I won't lie, it does look good. However, I'm just not a huge fan of Darth Maul sequels. I would be all about the Darth Maul prequels, like doing more of a backstory to Darth Maul, building up to episode 1. If they wanted to do that, I think I'd be a lot more excited. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of constantly resurrecting characters. I wasn't a big fan of it when they brought him back in the Solo film, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Jordan. I would be more excited to do a prequel Maul. That being said, also some other talent that might be of interest is obviously the voice actor for Darth Maul, Sam Witwer. He's a pretty big Star Wars fan himself, and he probably, I hope, if they listen to him, is able to give some input to the character in the story. And the other interesting thing that they're going to bring is their version of Darth Talon, who's a Twi'lek Sith who appears in the Star Wars Legacy series. So they're kind of adapting her for the Disneyverse. What they do with her, who knows? Who knows if she'll be anything like her comic book rendition? And that's kind of another thing that's making me curious, at the very least, to watch it.
Yeah, I do like Darth Talon's sort of aesthetic. I think it's pretty badass, but yeah, we'll see. Remains to be seen.
Yeah, I loved the Legacy comics. That was like one of my favorite comic book series from Star Wars, and I've read like all of them. So seeing kind of, I don't know, man, seeing them like, it feels like stealing characters from like good stuff and then pulling it in. Now, I was a huge fan also of the Clone Wars show. I do feel like it's kind of drawn out, where they had Maul in Clone Wars and also in Rebels, and now they're also gonna branch off. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually thought Maul in Clone Wars and Rebels was actually pretty sweet. But I don't know. It feels like they're just
beating a dead horse.
Yeah, like
cow. Yeah, it's like how many times?
Yeah,
are you
like
gonna bring
they
them
already
back to
did.
tell more stories.
They already did like a Maul sequel in the Clone Wars, and
Rebels too. He had his own story arc in Rebels
and Solo. So like, why do we need more sequel? Like I feel like everyone wants to learn about his past and what led him, outside of just the books. Let's see like a visual depiction of him as a child. Being like going through the ringer. Blah blah blah.
Going through his traumatic childhood,
Yeah.
Jordan. You want to see?
Yeah.
You want to see
I do.
Darth Maul child abuse? What led to the dark side?
Yeah, exactly. Growing up on Dathomir and whatever, and
yeah, totally.
Fun stuff.
I will also add that I'm not a big fan of the Crime Syndicate version of Maul either.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too.
Yeah, it just seems like I like my underworld to be underworld and like my Sith to be Sith. I don't necessarily want them to be crossed over either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Maul is like a disciplined religious martial artist. I don't get Crime Syndicate vibes necessarily from it.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That premise should have been the Boba Fett show.
Yes.
100%. 100%. What do you guys think about the people involved in it? So obviously you've got your Dave Filoni, and then you've got this Matt McNovitz, which
Christian already mentioned that he was hopeful because that Matt guy was worked on Fallen Order. So yeah,
right. Okay. Sorry, I might have missed that over the
I think you did.
Baby crying that was taking place in my starship.
Yeah. Brad Rao, are you raising a Sith baby, Frankie? Is that what's going on about that?
Absolutely.
Brad Rao looks like some of his credits are The Bad Batch and Forces of Destiny, which are also not great.
I didn't love Bad Batch. I
know
really
me neither.
tried. I tried to get into it too. Yeah.
It felt like a letdown for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, always with Star Wars, you have this like balancing act of like good talent and questionable talent, and every time they just I don't know what's gonna win out,
Yeah. Well, speaking of good talent and bad talent, sorry, I don't know if you guys had any more thoughts on Shadow Lord or anything. Have you guys seen the trailers for them though? Like, because they just dropped another trailer. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Oh, like a new one? No, I don't think
a new one. Yeah.
Okay.
I like the idea of like a darker Star Wars in general. And like if they take Shadow Lord in that direction, I thought I saw some stuff saying that it was supposed to be a little bit more of like a grittier, not as necessarily child friendly. That would be cool.
Okay, this is what bothers me though, is they've done so many bait and switches. I don't trust them. If it was the way it's being presented in the trailers, sure, yeah, that's great. And I agree with you, Frankie. I do like a little gritty Star Wars. But again, we've been screwed over so many times by now. I'm not falling for it until I see it with my own eyes. No trailers, no amp up, no names attached to the project are gonna get me excited enough to trust them.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, those of you who are listening to this, let us know what you think. Are you excited? Are you hyped, or are you down on this? Give us a 0 to 2 bladed lightsabers. What are you thinking?
There's not a lot of options on that scale.
1 blade, 2 blades, or no blades.
Or a Kylo
Is a
Ren.
blade good or bad?
I think a blade is good.
Okay.
2 blades is great.
It's the same look of when Darth Maul first appeared on screen and ignited that second lightsaber blade. That's the kind of reaction. We
Yeah.
want. People-
Yeah.
Oh man, like thinking back to that time, it's like what year was episode 1 released? 2001, 99?
No,
99?
99. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have been 6 years old. And that was mind blowing. I thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen. Like in theater, watching a second lightsaber, I was like, "Whoa! It's like a staff. That's so cool." Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of bat,
Hold on. Jonathan in the chat says Maul Lockdown is a great book taking place prior to episode 1. So yeah, that's where we get in the Legends continuity. That's where we get a lot of the Maul background. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the Disney Disneyverse that is prequel Maul?
I don't know if they did any published works, but they completely changed his backstory to where like he's from Dathomir as a kid, and they kind of like allude to it in the Clone Wars because he's got his whole brother situation. There's also a comic book series that deals with Darth Maul prior to episode 1 as well, where he like assassinates members of Black Sun, and like very leans into that Sith assassin feeling, which is always kind of exactly like Jordan said earlier, like that he's a wrecking ball. That's why he's called Maul. Like he's just this brute instrument used for crushing things, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, should we go on to our next headline here?
Yeah, this one was kind of strange. It's like some news stirring up. I wonder if I should change the order of kind of the topics that I. Yeah, let's change the order here because I think this makes a little more sense. So, kind of the big story, the big news. Obviously, again, we were a little bit late to all of this, just given our last live stream a couple months ago. But in that time that we've kind of been a little dark, the good old Kathleen Kennedy herself had stepped down from her role as president of Lucasfilm.
Now, I do want to say in our last live stream, we did say that this was official,
Yes.
but she hadn't officially left. Like she's not out of her office yet. As of recording this in March of the year of our Lord 2026, as far as we know, she no longer enters the Lucasfilm building because she is not employed there.
Yeah,
So she actually isn't head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, so we made a point of that actually on the last live stream, talking about how for the last like every other live stream we were talking about new rumors about her actually leaving. Like I made the comparison of a Ross and Rachel will they won't they, where she just kept teasing us with rumors of actually leaving, and then it appears she did it. For once, the rumors were right as time of our last live stream. So yeah, the news, of course,
until Disney pulls a Bob Iger and brings her back in like 2 years.
Oh, God, no.
I think Iger was stepping down too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, again, yeah. His second retirement, yeah. But
from her replacement here, good old Dave Filoni. I never dreamed I would be privileged to learn the craft of filmmaking from both of them, said Filoni. From Rey to Grogu, Kathy has overseen the greatest expansion in Star Wars storytelling on screen that we have ever seen. I'm incredibly grateful to Kathy, George, Bob Iger, and Alan Bergman for their trust and the opportunity to lead Lucasfilm in this new role, doing a job I truly love. May the Force be with you. So, what do you guys take from that? What do you think? Like, you said this is going to be a short-lived, to have Dave Filoni make a crack, make a couple shows, then bring her back in a redemptive fashion?
I don't know. I don't think she's coming back, to be honest. She's pretty old. I think she's like in her 70s.
Yeah, she is in her 70s, which shocked me. I didn't realize she was that old actually till we looked it up.
Yeah.
And Botox is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I also don't trust who she's leaving the projects with. We've kind of beaten that dead horse too a number of times about Kathleen leaving and also Dave Filoni. So again, like, not excited. Not still hasn't won me back.
I'm just kind of a shoulder shrug. I mean, it probably won't be worse, but
Will it get better?
yeah, will it get better? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But
like separatists are jamming our comms. It can only mean one thing:
yeah,
invasion.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I am happy that we won't have to talk about Kathleen Kennedy, at least maybe only in passing reference, but we won't have to actually like make her a topic of discussion. It would be nice if we could all put that chapter of our lives away
behind us.
What? Yeah, close it. Yeah.
And now we can open a new chapter on Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
We will never be satisfied.
As he runs amok on the franchise. But who knows?
14 years though is a crazy
yeah.
I feel like Disney just acquired Lucasfilm not that long ago. 5 years, 6 years tops. And then you look at it and you're like, holy smokes, they really strangled that thing.
Yeah, it is crazy. And they spent so much money. I wonder if they made their money back yet. I don't think so, but
what was it, $6 billion?
Yeah, but then also all the costs of all the production
Production,
costs and everything. So it's like, I wonder if they ever made their money back. Maybe on merch.
They did say they're going to update Star Wars Land in Florida, I think, to be back to the original characters too. So like more Darth Vader, Han Solo's, Princess Leia's walking around.
Did they? Yeah. See, I went to the California one last year, and they had like a mix of everything. I will say there was like a lot of Mandalorian stuff, and then
of course they're gonna
a lot of original trilogy stuff. And there was I think maybe someone was dressed up as Rey, and there was like BB-88 or whatever the heck his name is. Yeah, and that was. There wasn't too much of the sequel stuff, but
yeah, I think that's like tacitly admitting defeat and just like give people the OG stuff. That's what they'll pay to show up for.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that. I'm sort of glad we can move on from Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know, Frankie. What are your thoughts? Should we?
Can you guys hear me? Okay. It's having some audio issues there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's just too late, if the damage has been done, and if she's already done so much damage to the brand that it really doesn't matter who they get put in charge, unless they get somehow George Lucas himself to take over this stuff.
Even Lucas can't save this thing. I do think that I wonder if they might ever shelve Star Wars for a little bit and then do like a fresh reboot. Hell, even like do remakes of the OG.
Oh man.
15, 20 years maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like I feel I'm in like a weird place with Star Wars right now. It's like I have this like undying attachment and nostalgia to it for what it was, for how much of a role it played in especially my formative years. But just this it's like a bad relationship, man, especially in the most recent stuff where it's like I'm always excited to see even kind of taking it back to Shadow Lord and that kind of stuff. I was like seeing lightsabers on screen and seeing stuff kind of come back to life. It's just it's always cool for me to see. But like I haven't been the expectations haven't been met since, I don't know, maybe Mandalorian, watching Luke walk down the hallway. Like that was super cool. It kind of brought back that same feeling of Star Wars, and that's probably the last time I felt that. And so it's like, can I handle any, like, you know, it's one hit for every 15 misses, you know? It's brutal.
Yep, it's true. All right, should we go on to the next topic here?
Yeah, so speaking of misses and hits and hurts and people failing up in the industry, rumors. So since the step down of Kathleen Kennedy, rumors of another Star Wars another installment in the what would you even call them? Like trilogies, I guess. Like so rumors have resurfaced.
Episodic movies.
Sure. Yeah. Rumors are starting to resurface again of storyboards and stuff being written out for Star Wars Episode 10. Now, I know a lot of like movies and stuff have been shelved. So, and it's weird. So like the articles I saw when I was looking into this stuff, like most of the articles I saw were from like 2024, like, you know, 2023. There had always been kind of like these whispers. And I think it was primarily focusing and kind of floating around Rey. But just recently, some new discussions about putting people in charge of an Episode 10, and some of the people in charge of like some other projects that took place. So here, let me just kind of read what I got here. So Lost co-creator Damien Lindelf and the Strange story editor Justin Britt are writing a new Star Wars movie that is set to be directed by Miss Marvel's Sharmeen Obadiah-Chinoy, which, if I've ever heard of failing upwards, that is, you know, I don't know if you guys followed kind of any of the controversy around the Miss Marvel stuff, but yeah, it was brutal.
It was awful. What an awful.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I've seen the movie. It was probably one of the worst Marvel movies, MCU movies. And her character is so unlikable. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really,
so
quite astonishing, stunning even.
So to bring that, like to bring, you know, that somebody with that, what's it called? Like somebody's credits or with something like that. Yeah, under your belt to potentially, it's just like kind of what we've been talking about all episode long. It's just like it does not instill any kind of confidence in the projects moving forward.
I mean, that is insane that, you know, they'd be bringing her on. I think it's just literally like crazy. You guys, you're like, is there some sort of like money laundering scheme going on with Star Wars that they're intentionally like just trying to tank, and maybe they're funneling, you know, like, I don't know, Russian oligarch money through Star Wars too, and they intentionally want it to tank so that it's a capital loss for them. I don't know. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah. Christian, what are your thoughts?
Same. They just need to give it a break. They need to shelve it for a few years and just leave it alone for a bit. I'm not saying they should do remakes, but knowing the way Hollywood is going now, just shelve it. And then the next thing that will probably come out is nostalgic remakes. What I would like to see is a complete undoing of the Disney verse. And then
retcon it. Come on, just retcon it.
Just the bravery to just retcon it.
Yeah.
And then do something new, something different. Because that's the thing. Everything is also tainted by the story and where it's at. So like if you're looking at an episode 10, you have to eat episodes 7, 8, and 9. They happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like how can you be excited for something after something so atrocious? So the brave thing to do to get to 10 is to go back and remake 7, 8, 9.
I got an idea. They steal like Star Wars like legacy of the Force or whatever. Go like 100, 200 years into the future, and then refer to whatever happened as just like almost mythical and legendary. And you can be very fast and loose with the facts about what happened back in those days. So then in the future story, we have all fresh slate of new characters. It's a fresh start, and you could kind of put that in that era in the rear view mirror without actually officially having to completely dump it, put it in the landfill.
I don't hate it, but at the same, like, you're almost pulling a Star Wars Legends on the canon. You just do a reversal.
Yeah.
My worry about that is like, was Star Wars ever meant to really have sequels?
Yes.
I don't know.
Lucas literally talked about it in an interview where he was
Yeah.
talking about how he wanted the next, like, I think he always had a 9-part.
No, I don't know if that's accurate. Like, eventually he came up with the later installments, but the story like closes cleanly in episode 6. Even for Legends, it was kind of like they staggered around kind of looking for what the next plot will be. They recycled a couple of plots. Even like the whole idea of like the Sith coming back, like it's always tough to do when you know, like what did Anakin's sacrifice mean if you put the Force out of balance again? And what does that, like that was always something that's
Sure.
even with Legends. And they have had some good workarounds, but without recycling those workarounds, it's hard to come up with something compelling or something that omits Jedi and Sith, or at least a Sith completely, which are such a fundamental part of Star Wars that I don't know that it would fly without them. You'd have to have like a really good story. Like even the Yuzhan Vong were quite divisive among Star Wars fans when they were first brought into the
controversial.
Yeah. And they're like, how can you have Star Wars without Sith? I think I'm the opposite of Jordan. I think the best way to go is to go back and kind of pull a High Republic, like a time and a place that's kind of distinct from the current timeline or episodes 6 or 7, 8, 9, but also where you could use the Sith or you could use different threats or do different stories, but still have the familiarity of Jedi and Sith and the conflict, the back and forth, and build that out some more. But get enough distance where you're not like, oh, there's Yoda as a young baby, like, something like that. Go far back enough. And now that they did obliterate it all with the legending of Star Wars, they could rewrite it now if this is going to be their new canon. But
yeah. So digging into it a little bit deeper. So I know we've kind of talked about it in the past, like the whole Daisy Ridley 3-part, the next kind of 3 movies that she's been signed on to be filming. And it looks like this, like episode 10 is kind of, I don't know. I use this episode 10 kind of loosely because I think they're actually making an attempt at like trying to kind of break off into some new kind of territory. So I don't know, just like kind of briefly looking at stuff. And I don't know. I haven't like confirmed this too much. So even just like a brief Googling of Star Wars Episode 10, the only thing that comes up is this Star Wars New Jedi Order being in development. Now again, like I'm not fully up to date on if that was like announced during one of the Star Wars Day celebrations or any of that kind of stuff. Do you guys know kind of any more information on that?
The last I heard was a while ago when they first announced it. Then they brought Daisy Ridley out on stage. Mm-hmm. That's the last official update I remember. That being said, I haven't been following it that closely either. But I will add that, again, they're just notorious for announcing projects and then shelving them. Mm-hmm. And even shelving them quietly so they don't have to eat the embarrassment of canceling it publicly. So who knows if it's going to like sit in development hell or what?
Well, it's also just like, I've made this complaint before, I know, but so much content. Like if you just go to Disney Plus and look at all the little short stories, Star Wars Lego stuff, it's just like it's too much. It's content. and then the really big projects they're supposed to be working on, like nothing happens. It just gets shelved and they don't do anything with it, and it never moves. And then they keep on putting, this sort of like cheap Chinese crap out as Star Wars content, So I don't know.
You know what? Actually, what I have seen, and people are going to hate me for this, but you know what? I don't care because it's the truth. People have been making better Star Wars stories using AI.
Oh, that is true. That is 100%
interesting and like capture the feeling of Star Wars. Way
it has some passion.
Studio.
It has some soul to it,
Yeah, which is ironic because that's the thing everyone hates on AI for.
I know, and it's made out of AI, but you could tell it
the creators knew what they were trying to do, and
yes.
And I've been more entranced by those shorts, like the short videos.
Oh man, me too.
I've seen a story of a snow trooper, and I've seen one of clone troopers, and like those little shorts have so much more depth in them and are more compelling than anything any studios put out recently.
Mm-hmm. Or even like the Skywalker meeting, like the Ghost of Bane or something like that.
Yeah,
that's like really cool. There's
just these shorts. But
yeah.
Where are you guys finding these? I haven't seen a single one of those.
And
I'm
YouTube
like,
and Facebook.
Dude, they're everywhere.
I eat up that AI slop like nobody else, bro. I watch those those transformation videos of like your birthday as a knight. Those are so funny to me, dude. Yeah, I haven't seen a single one of those. That's sweet. I'm gonna my new algorithm is just gonna be all AI Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting like there's obviously they're not like flawless, but they're getting better, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before someone makes like a feature length film and just drops it on YouTube, right? Yeah, we might still be 3 or 4 years away from something like that, but it'll happen eventually, and then it's not like you're not allowed to make Star Wars content. You just can't technically sell it. I don't know what the rules are around advertising, but we'll have to see if someone makes like a feature length AI, video depicting a lot of the old characters. What Disney's going to do about that, but it'll probably be better.
Well, have you guys been following? Oh shoot, what's his name? The guy in charge of Theory Sabers.
Yeah. What about?
Well, what's his name? Might as well.
Theory.
Star Wars Theory, right? Yeah, Star Wars Theory.
Theory.
Yeah. Well, like his whole project, right? Like I don't know if you guys have been following that thing at all, where he's been funding his own like 3D animated as well as live action shot, like fan theory. It's supposed to be like a feature length film. Right.
He's already done a couple fan films, and they're pretty good. They're pretty decent.
Yeah, he did I think he did a couple episodes, and I guess he wasn't happy with the last ones, and so he's kind of planning on making. Well, he just released a trailer for like his newest thing, and it looks sick, dude. Like it looks so sweet. But like he's putting like millions of dollars into this, and he's just gonna upload it to YouTube because he can't like
monetize it.
He can't monetize it, which is crazy. That is a crazy thing to do.
It's a passion project. The dude just loves it so much. He's going to make the Star Wars that the studios aren't willing to make.
Yeah.
Before we move on to, I just want to say, they are going hard, and I don't blame anyone for not knowing this because no one cares about the Oscars anyways. But they're going hard on promotion for The Mandalorian, and it
is not working.
It's embarrassing.
It is not working.
The Super Bowl commercial was awful. I don't know if you guys saw that. And everyone knows how much Super Bowl ads cost. That alone could have been its own project. And yeah, it was just this awful like.
How much did they spend on it?
I don't know. It's going to be.
I'm going to check
just to get ad space for the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is always known for its like entertaining commercials, and they just fumbled that ball so badly. And then the Oscars happened on Sunday, which again, like I don't blame anyone for not watching it. I didn't watch it. I forgot it.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't know it happened until after it happened.
I think it's their lowest audience to date.
which has been like every year for the last 5
Yeah,
years. It's been the lowest. It's a new low.
Yeah. And they also man, it's almost I think the 100th Oscars. I think this was 98
Oh wow.
or something.
Oh,
So, like,
okay.
You would think if they hit 100, that would be like the biggest thing on the planet, but they've just lost so much reputation. But anyways, they were promoting The Mandalorian there too. They did like a little skit, I think, with Conan O'Brien and Grogu. Maybe it wasn't Conan, maybe it was another guy. But in any case, like they just this like cheesy, like it's obviously an ad that's not meant to be an ad, just trying to build up hype for the movie, but it just came off as like so ham-fisted. It just go look it up on YouTube. It was not good. So
yeah, I didn't even know the Oscars happened.
Yeah.
They spent $10 million on 30 seconds for the Super Bowl.
Like imagine $10 million budget for like a series or shorts or like
I'm telling you, it's a Russian oligarch money laundering scheme. That's what it is.
Only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
$1 million is nuts.
Yeah. It's even like season 3 of The Mandalorian. I will say I didn't hate it. I did have some problems in that it did feel more like it should have been just called Bo-Katan and not The Mandalorian, because that's what it was more about. Not it wasn't really about Din Djarin, which is what I thought it should have been about. It like sort of lost its focus completely. But yeah, it seemed to have lost a lot of its excitement. And I'm talking more not about the show itself, but just about the fanfare around it. Definitely lost its excitement around season 3. So
yeah,
I don't know what they're going to be able to do to salvage that, to be honest. And now they have to make like a movie because, the last 4 episodes of The Mandalorian was like not even about The Mandalorian. And so now they actually have to wrap up the story of The Mandalorian. they didn't really do it in the actual show. But
yeah. Man, I'm sure you guys I've been not able to watch any Star Wars. I've been in for any fans listening, I've been in back to technician school. So I have not been able to keep up with. I haven't finished season 3 of Mando. I made it through. Where am I in Andor? I think it's like more than half of season 2 of Andor. Have you guys caught up on the Andor stuff yet?
No, I'm still waiting till they're naturally with their show.
I try to focus on expanded universe material. Like I like to just read the old books and the old comics, and I personally don't prioritize like any of the Disney stuff because I'm just not as invested in that.
Sure. There's a really good. I thought this was kind of funny. Jonathan says they got to stop naming the shows after a sole character because they clearly want to tell an ensemble story. It happened with Kenobi, Ahsoka, and Boba Fett. I think that's bang on. That's yeah.
I think I've made this point before too, but like the only good episodes of Boba Fett were the ones with Din Djarin and Luke in it, and the other ones that were like about Boba Fett were just garbage. So, but
it's almost like a bait and switch. It's so unfair.
It's weird.
That's how I felt. No, but
it's
Fett.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's just like weird. Like, why are the best episodes of this show like? Yeah, like they're like have nothing to do with Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like they're taking the name to attract the audience and the draw, and then just putting out equivalent of AI slop. It's like why did I watch that? That's brutal. Yeah. Okay, well let's change gears a little bit here and get into some of Frankie's hot takes. And the latest Frankie's hot take I have for you is stay off of Reddit's Star Wars hot takes.
Stay off of Reddit altogether.
It was brutal. Like,
It's a hive of scum and villainy.
oh, it was rough. Yeah, it was all just defense of the worst aspects of the latest Star Wars. So
To be fair,
it's
depends-
interesting to watch. It's interesting to read, to see some of the arguments and like what they base it on. But it's just, I couldn't last long in there. I'll tell you that much.
To be fair, it depends what subreddit you're on. There are some that are dedicated to Legends. There are some that are dedicated to hating on Disney Star Wars.
Sure.
And there's, of course, the fan pages for them. And you know what? Like, in all fairness, I do browse the ones that I disagree with on purpose because it's
nice to expose yourself to.
They're built right,
ideas.
exactly. They build echo chambers. Like, you could even argue we're in an echo chamber. Like, hating on Disney isn't exactly fresh or new.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, at least if you understand the opposing side, like for me, what it does, it reinforces how I feel about it. Not that that's what I'm looking for, but I'm like, okay, like if I'm open to a counter argument, like give it to me. Give me, like, if you're talking about it in a fan on a fan page, tell me why you think this is the best thing ever. And if anything, it causes me to be like double down in what I already believe and be like, no, you're wrong. Like that is a bad reason to like this show. Now that being said, there's also like really good ones about the universe. There's really good in-depth ones about the Legends. There's one I really like called the Maw installation, and they go hard with Star Wars.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I just Googled Star Wars hot takes.
Star Wars Reddit.
It was literally Star Wars hot takes, and it was literally Star Wars hot takes Reddit, and it was wild. I definitely did not do my due diligence, and but it was, like I say, I will say it was good to go through and like read some of this stuff, but there wasn't even discussion happening. Like I even opened some of like the replies and stuff to some of this, and there just wasn't much substance to it. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to spend, oh man, Christian, maybe you've changed my hot take into that. I'm gonna have to spend more time on the hot takes Reddit.
The flip side to that is like accepting that hot takes are meant to be hot takes.
Sure. Yeah, it's true.
Everyone's going to accuse you of it being a bad take. However, it is nice if you can turn around and justify the hot take.
Sure. But one thing I did get from Reddit, which is actually one of my favorite things to browse for these live streams, is the Reddit fan theories. And I found a cool one. I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this one before, but I figured I'd throw it out there and you guys can let me know. But it's talking about Shmi Skywalker's death. And the fan theory is Shmi's death was orchestrated by Palpatine as part of his plan to corrupt Anakin and turn him to the dark side. He may have also been influenced. He may have also influenced the prophetic dreams that sent Anakin looking for her in the first place. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Have you guys ever discussed that before? I know that one's like floated around before in the past. At least I've heard it in my circles. What have you guys?
I'm not super familiar with that one. I don't care for it myself.
No?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know a reason for it? I've actually been exposed to this one before. I'm of two minds. On the one hand, it helps to tie the thread of Palpatine's influence like more neatly around Anakin. He's like obviously like that is in line with Palpatine's character as orchestrating events behind the scenes to manipulate people. Like that is 100% a Palpatine move. It just makes the galaxy super small, which I always hate sometimes in Star Wars, where like everyone's related and everyone's connected, and you know wouldn't have like it robs Anakin of any agency. And I think to have a proper fallen hero story, the hero needs to make that choice, that deal with the devil, and it needs to be like an actual flaw within the character himself. So like if Anakin's hand is literally held right into like hell, it's less compelling than with Anakin like facing just real life challenges and turning to the dark side to try and overcome them.
Sure.
Now that being said, I also am a strong disliker of the random visions trope in shows where like some character has a special vision and it kind of causes a plot to happen, and it's never really explained unless you have a good reason for that character to have visions. And like force visions have always been a thing, but
Yeah.
it's super convenient that like visions of his mom dying, like the very thing that he is scared of, is a thing that leads him to her and everything. And you could make all kinds of arguments. Maybe like Shmi in her desperation was calling to Anakin in the Force. Maybe, you know, there is an element of indirect influence. Maybe Palpatine didn't know about Shmi, but he's like make his worst fears come real, right? Like some kind of Sith witchcraft. And even Palpatine doesn't know what that looks like, but it turns into these like Force visions of his mother suffering and dying and Padme suffering and dying. Because those are really the instigating factors if you think about Anakin's fall. I like that more, like a looser hand involved rather than he actively like manipulated,
Orchestrated it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like of two minds. I don't know that I would like it if it was made canon. And sometimes some theories are nice to be like never expressly stated one way or the other. You could, was it possible? Maybe. Is it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually kind of, yeah, it's interesting. I agree, and I think you're right where I think it makes it definitely more tragic when it's of his own volition. He chooses self over everything he's kind of decided. And yeah, I think it adds to the tragedy for sure. Yeah. Oh shoot, I had something I was going to say. I totally lost it. I completely forgot. Darn it. It'll come back though.
While you're talking here, whether or not this is true, I don't know. Again, Reddit may or may not be accurate. But apparently someone was saying that an early version of Revenge of the Sith had a reveal that Dooku actually had the Tuskens kidnap Shmi.
Okay.
But they completely dropped that plot point.
Is that confirmed or is that just
It's just someone on Reddit.
a rumor? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get why. I get it. I do get it. I do feel like though there's just like it's almost like extremely plausible that Shmi lives on like a lawless backwater world with a bunch of savage Tuskens and outlaws, and like she's probably going to get killed at a younger age, statistically. So it is kind of like maybe I'd believe it a little more if it was under different circumstances.
She's living on like a peaceful world, and she just happens to be kidnapped and murdered. Yeah.
Alderaan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Here, yeah. Kind of going back to what you were saying though, in terms of like kind of Shmi calling out to him potentially, or at least Anakin being able to pick up her pain through the Force or whatever. It kind of makes sense in that, like, the critique he's constantly getting from the Jedi Council is that his, even when he gets there, right, his thoughts are on his mother, right? He's got like super deep attachments. He can't. That's one of his like fatal character flaws is that he can't follow the Jedi teaching of like relinquishing all attachments, right? Earthly attachments, for lack of a better word. But you know what I mean? And so it would almost make sense where if he's got, just these super deep attachments that he could potentially be sensing her pain or sensing her that's during that. And then I kind of like the idea of Palpatine taking advantage of it, but I do take your point, and I actually think I agree in that. I think what makes it so tragic is the fact that he chooses to fall to the dark side, and giving him agency in that is, you're taking away agency. I think kind of removes from some of that tragedy.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say that his premonitions of his mother are probably more like Force echoes, like it's actively happening so he's sensing her pain through the Force more so than like visions of the future.
Mhm,
But definitely
yeah.
with Padme, it becomes a question of visions of the future.
Mhm,
And to be fair, like with the Force, yes, like this isn't new for the Force. This is an
Mhm.
established thing that can happen. But like I said, just as a trope, it's not really my favorite trope. But just to clarify for anyone out there.
it's fair. Fair. Jordan, any kind of thoughts on that?
Nope.
Jordan
Perfect.
likes to keep his mind as an empty vessel so he doesn't accidentally stumble upon visions, horrific visions.
Yeah.
All right, and I've got a final kind of question for the audience, just kind of, or even just for you guys as well. I just wanted to throw this out there. Recently, I've been wanting to actually introduce Star Wars to my kids, and in having a actually, what sparked this, Christian, is me and Christian were out for lunch, and I was talking to his kids about, because they're all actually Star Wars fans, but then I asked them if they watched Star Wars, and they replied with, "No, Uncle, it's so boring." And I just looked at Christian and I was like, "What? What is going on here?" So the question I wanted to put forward to the audience is, what is the best age? And for people who have kids or people who don't have kids, or for people, from speaking from your own experiences, but yeah, what is the best age to start kids on the original trilogy of Star Wars, and which order should you watch and introduce it to them?
I mean, I would always start with the OG. I don't know. I think I started watching Star Wars when I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I vaguely remember being 5 or 6 myself.
But it's hard to imagine my 6-year-old even like comprehending it now. But I don't know. Maybe he would. I should probably show it to him.
You know what? To be fair, when I was like first introduced to Star Wars, I didn't know what was going on. I just thought Darth Vader looked cool and I liked the fighting. So
Yeah.
and that was
Same.
like pretty much my standards for any movie.
Same.
So maybe it's less the depth, and then the depth comes with time with rewatches and like nostalgia. You go back, and you're like, oh shoot, I missed all these plot points that actually make sense. But yeah.
Like what I want from, because my kid's only 3, and then I got the baby as well. But what I want for them is what I experienced, is being like, yeah, I couldn't have been older than 5, because I remember watching. I was already a fan of, like I said earlier, I was a fan of Star Wars Episode 1, and I watched that when I was 6. So I must have been like 4 or 5, and I just remember just being absolutely mind blown at the Darth Vader reveal, and I want that for my kids. And so I don't know how to get that. But Christian, you've tried watching with your kids, and like, do your kids know Darth Vader is Luke's father?
No, they don't know yet, because every time we tried starting watching it, it's kind of petered off. But I've been keeping that a secret from them until they're a little bit older and able to appreciate, especially the older movies. And then, yeah, so I've actually been keeping that actively a secret.
Nice. Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah. And they have action figures. They have action figures of Anakin and of Darth Vader. And just like Obi-Wan, I just don't tell them about the connection between the two. Like, this is Anakin, he's the greatest Jedi ever. And this is Darth Vader, he's a Sith Lord.
Well, that's what's so like confusing to me, is your kids will always talk about Darth Vader and Boba Fett and all
okay,
this
so
stuff.
the problem is, I made
I
made the fatal mistake of watching some of the Disney shows with them, and that was their first exposure.
It set the standard for what they think Star Wars should look like.
Yeah, and I hate that I did that to them. Like, for them for the rest of their lives.
I'm always like, progress. Start with you don't want to get them
overstimulated.
Expecting more modern CGI and whatnot. Like, like get their baseline lower and then and then progressively raise it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to me. So, and it was only because I was only even watching those shows to do like reviews, and they just happened to be in the room with me when I did it, and it was just like, yeah, you know what? Like, what harm could this possibly do?
Now they won't watch the original trilogy.
And now they won't watch the originals. But at the same time, like,
absolute cinema.
they do really like the characters. Like, they love Darth Vader, they love Luke, they love Boba Fett. I have a picture of my son sleeping with a Boba Fett action figure like a teddy bear. They like these characters. They just don't have a lot of context other than things that I've told them.
Right.
Actually seeing the stories play out. They really like Darth Maul, actually, funnily enough. They just think he looks sick. But
yeah, this all comes. So I have this mug, and it is like an original, like Lucasfilm mug that I found at like a Winners or something. And every morning when I'm having like my tea, my daughter will like point at the so she can point out who all those characters exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I wonder if she's getting close enough to the age where I can my daughter is like all about princesses and that kind of stuff. So she thinks Princess Leia is like the coolest thing. And then when I told her that Princess Leia has a gun, she's just like, whoa, she's a princess and she has a gun.
You should do her hair with the little buns on the side.
Princess Leia buns. That's a good idea. I might do that. Yeah. So anyways, I'm looking for ways to kind of, I want to introduce her to it. But like you said, like on the original stuff, but I think, introducing her to cartoon stuff is a better pull, but I want to maintain that secrecy of Luke and Anakin reveal.
Yeah. Let this be a warning to everyone else. Don't start them on the Disney stuff. Start with the OG stuff. Jonathan in the chat is saying, and we've mentioned this before as well, but Sam Witwer has a great take to have them start with the Clone Wars, then the original trilogy, then the prequels, and then it preserves a twist, but they grow to love Anakin and can retroactively learn the fall. And I do agree with that. My only issue is depending on their age, starting them with the Clone Wars might set an unrealistic expectation. Going from the Clone Wars to the OG trilogy might be a bit of a shock. Although, if I recall correctly, the way Sam Witwer had it was that you'd watch, I think, episode 4 first, and then you would go back in time, and then you would spring back for the video, if I'm not mistaken. But
or you make an edit of episode 4 where Obi-Wan references the Clone Wars, and then it's like a flashback. Ooh, and then you watch the whole Clone Wars series, and then it goes right back.
I think you'd completely forget what was going on in A New Hope.
You make a what is it? Is it 9 seasons of Clone Wars?
Yeah,
a 9-season edit lasting.
No. But
and then you go back hundreds of hours.
You start from episode 1, right? Because you like Obi-Wan's reminiscing about this little boy he met on Tatooine. And
yeah.
Anyways, all this to say, I want to get my kid into original Star Wars. I also feel like she won't bite on the pacing of the original Star Wars, and that's my concern.
Yeah. That leads to a bigger whole debate about like brain rot and attention spans and the ability to appreciate books and slower paced movies, things that aren't just like our brains now are just so hyped up on like spoon-fed sugar, essentially, like constant stimulation, that like it's hard. It's become hard for people to focus. And it's not good. It's not good for society, but that's a whole other podcast.
I agree with that, but at the same time, taking it back to when I was a kid, don't you remember, like, at least for me, like my mom, for instance, would show me a movie that she really liked from like the 70s or 80s. And even, I would have been in like the 90s, and I would have been like, oh, this movie's too old. Like, there's no lasers in it. I want to watch Star Wars. You know what I mean? So I feel like even back then, you had that same issue.
Certainly, yeah. I'm a big person that admits I struggle even watching the good 80s movies sometimes. That's changed.
Our appetites have been like so hijacked. And I think, we miss out on a lot of just like great stories and great content because our sort of dopamine receptors have been so blunted. Yeah.
Now, to Frankie's point, though, I was that person as well who, like, you could show me a really great movie and I'm like, if it was made before a certain date, man, I'm gonna struggle to sit through it. But as I've gotten older, I've found myself being able to appreciate some of those older movies myself.
Yeah,
it's almost like a matter of taste, a matter of like practicing and focusing and You're not, and I was that
maturing too, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was that kid that watched a show only because of the fighting in it. Like that.
Same.
I would watch a movie, and now that I'm more mature, like yeah, the fighting is great. I still need to see good action. Don't get me wrong, but I am also a huge fan of like a really good story. Regarding
You want substance as well.
Right, exactly. So, and that's like you said, just maturing. So, maybe if your kids don't quite bite onto the OG now, yeah, give them a little time to mature, and then it becomes more about the story than how many lightsaber fights happen in the movie.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, I'm gonna get going. So we're gonna wrap this up and head out here. Remember, everyone, make sure to check us out on social media. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook. We also have a Discord. Subscribe to us there. If you want to support the show, go rate and review the show on iTunes or Spotify. Those are the best places, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And with that, thanks for signing in with us today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.